all some of us are trying to remind you is that like we're just trying to bypass those considerations, and uh, like we can't live off the societal drama that has nothing to do. Like we're dealing with forever chemicals, and what I say about this water thing isn't a threat. It just I mean, there's custodian and Anunnaki reptilian humanoid Anunnaki reptilians resets that are unnatural, and then there's like resets that are natural. Even I think the Navajo man, he's saying that like, yeah, there was a language that the human was abusing that like could gouge the earth and whatnot and stuff, and like and that had to be taken away from the human, and and that the earth eventually will swallow us up, and like and one time like to protect us. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you expect life to support you if you don't support life? We're just keeping it simple. Like, and simulation doesn't solve that problem. So maybe if you're going to pollute everything in a simulation, then what would you do in reality? I mean, if you want to leave it to that, like, why are we polluting everything in a simulation? You can't get around that. Everyone has relationship deals, like, and that's why you value and hone in on who you really are, or who I say really won't, because I come from, once I heard about twin soul, it was over. Like that makes sense. And it's because like the only thing we knew is this wasn't home. And that's not trying to criticize this place. It's the only thing we knew. The behavior was and still is so absurd and still getting worse that the only thing we knew is this ain't home. And it was like, and we didn't know till like recently, like, oh, our memories are actually erased by needles in their hospitals. This is no thing to like nurses and doctors. This is, all it takes is one entity in the institution. Do you understand? That's all it takes. Institution, what all it takes is one person. If we're all going to like concede to a hive mind consciousness, binary or not, it's like, do you get the trouble? So like, I mean, I'd say God because that doesn't apply, but it's like I wasn't listening to nothing here. This place is so absurd. Okay, and once I learned about the Industrial Revolution and how that ended as it began, and I could find no employment in that. Why does no one understand? There is nothing to gain. Like you cannot survive once you realize, oh, well, I'm obviously, if nothing else, I'm here to be part of ending the nastiness, grossness of the Industrial Revolution. Something I know the Sasquatch can understand. Probably all of them, even the non-benevolent ones, okay? But I don't know what to say to y'all. I mean, and we can get no support. The thing is, don't take offense that we're saying this is a form of game stalking. If it's the second time I've done it, if you correlate so much information, never will identify us specifically. Just keep us hanging on. Just keep us hanging on. And then we finally buy it, like, okay, yeah, that's me, because it has to be. Not because we're so special. That's a hierarchical concern. Just because no one else keeps it as simple. Some of us keep it so simple that you cannot be us. And you're so easily distracted and taken down another road of needless complexity. That's what we're trying to say. Like, no, we've kept it so simple that when you find someone talk, and we finally can see, like, okay, that is me. Okay, that is me. And then when you won't give a simple human response, thing is, what's determined is their interference. Like I said with Awakening Leela, one thing I guarantee, she's been interfered with. Her interceptions, her communications intercepted, blocked for years. I'm sure that's true, or no matter what she is. Someone, like, she can't get the money from her channel because of someone stolen her bank account. Okay, I accept that. That still doesn't give you a right to sacrifice another or unintentionally. And if you haven't made a video about how you unintentionally sacrificed me, then that makes no sense. There is nothing from Jonathan Kutamaza or Awakening Leela in the video I said, just post it here. There's not a single comment even going to studio. And please stop commenting. I mean, I don't have enough followers. I'm not going to, because if there's only one person commenting, I have to assume that's not a real person. I have to. I mean, you might be, but like, I mean, how come you can sneeze, cough, just burp on TikTok, and if you just post anything, you'll just keep getting more followers. But on YouTube, none? That's fine. That really is fine. That really is. But we cannot concede to needless complexity and over focus on Oh, I had a relationship problem because I didn't realize AI was filling up the comment sections. It would make sense because that's why it's so trite and mundane and predictable. I mean, it's like, praise the Lord, amen. Just the most contrite, submissive. Just something else is under control. I ain't worried about it. It's got me. It's all. Where do we get this? It protects me, and it ain't. Well, I'm special. That's the whole thing you be saying. It's going to protect me. Why? Because you obey. Because you concede. Because needless complexity. Because you're going to adhere to like collecting blood of any organism and collecting it in a bowl to be drank by something is normal and acceptable. And all civilizations are built have bunch of buildings where that is allowed and where children can be hidden and done underground. And do you understand? All this conceding to like structure means intelligence. Where do we get that? Just because you see buildings, like that's what you like. Look at like with the Mesoamerica. Well, that's where you see the parasite. If they were pulling human hearts out of children because they were afraid it wouldn't rain, then that's a parasite, not all the trees around it. Yet we call that advancement, and we still call that advanced civilization while demeaning the abhorrent, impossible behavior that can only be from demons. Yay! I mean, not shadow projections, demons. Okay, demons operate in the physical, and that's what Atlantis had to be. What was it? It was letting hellish beings into the realm. This is the mighty Atlantis everyone wants to brag about. Letting hellish beings into the realm by blood sacrifice. I don't know if it was just animal, four-legged, or humans as well, or both. We won't concede to simplicity. I don't know what you want. Those that concede to simplicity, like it doesn't matter. Like someone sees that, it doesn't matter what building I'm in right now. If I don't have anything to do, if I could pursue free government money, I don't know how to do that. I never wanted to pursue unemployment because that doesn't solve the problem. I still have to have something to do. But I'm completely vulnerable because of the situation I allowed myself to get in. And the big thing was the fallback was delivering. Because everyone where I came, in Memphis where I came from, any guy needed extra money, you just with Uber or the main other one, I can't think of it right now. The one I could not get to verify my identity for nothing. For some reason, my brother-in-law's, son comes down here and he just logs in right in. You mean Nish? You mean, I can deliver right now. I have weeks and weeks. Nothing I can do will allow me to even get in the consideration of like, hey, this is you. So I didn't know. So it wasn't just the business, whether the business got going or not. I was going to just 7 days a week deliver. I can't even see it. Look at the brain box. I can't even think of the name of that place. But there was one all my friends were delivering through no problem. And I get down here and someone finally says, yeah, that business kind of collapsed. Oh, I didn't know that. So the thing is, we get in situations and it don't matter. I mean, I can't sit. I got to have my own control. I am defying needless complexity, so I can't be in a needlessly complex situation for my survival. Okay? Some of us just can't. So, I mean, everyone has relationship things. That's okay. I mean, that's a given. If you're going to get to your true self, you're going to have like interference before. You're not going to find your twin soul first. How could you possibly? You wouldn't know the value of your twin soul if you found them first. So just when we ask for the slightest human, we cannot live our lives on black mirrors anymore. That's where I came to with the goddess in Australia. Please. That's the point. I'm not yielding. I'm not having my reality limited to a TV screen or a phone screen. That's the problem. I'm a natural human. I cannot live. It's not only is it not food, I cannot live off the energy of this human false drama. And then the arrogance of no one's gonna come to save you. What are you risking? Nothing. You're snooping, prying, and fishing, giving away information, never identifying the person because you can't do that. Yeah. You're breaking all the rules, and they mean arrogant about your concession to a supercomputer, basically. Where did the term Black Cube Yahweh supercomputer come from? How could you make up something? That's absurd. We all know truth when we hear it. We all know truth when we hear it. Now, I wasn't prepared for the I wasn't prepared for the indigenous cultures in their. I mean, I didn't realize that they'd been duped into conceding to cycles. Like cycles are just loops. No, it's not natural. This, like Devin Law Magic says, this ain't supposed to be a death. Physicality wasn't supposed to and wasn't a death sentence. Okay, it's not supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to transition in and out of this as we chose to, and now we're trapped. That's what we're trying to solve. The problem is trapped in a density of death, of decay. We're trapped in decay of death, where everything has to feed off something to survive. That's in an infinite, like I said, universe. That obviously doesn't make sense. So, it wasn't just the flat Earth universe that even while I'm online, it was like the very first thing was like, why does eyes interfere with vision? Because when you realize and accept and have proof after proof of people that have never seen dying on the operating table and then seeing for the first time and floating up out of the building, seeing perfectly clear, reporting things they couldn't see. They've never seen. They've never seen. How can they report something that is verified by the doctor or nurse and they've never seen? So the problem is, I'm not serving in. I caught onto the flaw of these decaying bodies long before I got on their social media, or I wouldn't be on here. And that's the problem. No, we're not conceding. I'm not conceding to anything that created these decrepit, most devolved bodies. This is the most devolved the human avatar has ever been. And it can't really go any further. Okay? It really can't. It really cannot. Okay? This is the thing. It cannot. Okay? So we're not... Okay, so the only thing that interferes with vision are human eyes. So you can be born into a body or lose sight because you're literally trapped in a body. You got that awakening, Leela? Awakening, Leela? You don't take money I gave you for a vacation and get online listening to my video and then making a video directly after saying, I would never kill myself. I didn't say there was glory or there's something you need to kill oneself. I'm highlighting the entrapment of the body. The autistic understand feeling trapped in a body. And all it takes is that fact. The very fact you have to see in the 3D. You have to. There is no survive. I mean, you're a burden to something else. You can't get your own food come on. If you're not in society, in a structured, industrial, revolutionized, society, there is no true surviving without eyes, unless you're in a community. Okay? So that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. So if you, in this body, eyes interfere with vision. Outside the body, vision is perfect. That has to make sense. And you're not lording your neatest complexity over any of us.